What is it about that he wants the world to know, look at my woman? We can see.
He wants other men to want his woman. That's what he's into. He likes that. He likes that men are like drooling over his woman.
I guess allegedly Jeffree Star has been sleeping with Kanye West, and that's why they're getting a divorce.
I'm not sure if you have heard, but Kanye West recently came out of the closet, and not in a subtly suggestive manner either. No ma'am, this man actually came out on Elon Musk's Devil app and blatantly acknowledged that in his earlier days, he had given his male cousin his head. There was no shyness in the confession. It had been personal, wild, and unprovoked. This song is called Cousins, about my cousin that's locked in jail for life for a pregnant lady a few years after I told him we wouldn't look at dirty magazines together anymore. Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 6, and then we acted out what we saw. My dad had Playboy magazines, but the magazines I found on top of my mom's closet were different. My name is Ye, and I sucked my cousins till I was 14. Hold on before you all start to panic, because yes, this actually did happen. There is a rumor circulating that Ye has been going on an unending binge, saying whatever that comes to mind. This is not simply a personal trauma revelation though, sweetie. If we pull out the old teapot from 2021, you may remember the rumors that Kanye was having an affair with this internet personality named Jeffree Star, while the man was still married to Kim K. This blew the lid off a number of rumors that we have been hearing for years, and Jeffree Star herself was the one who made it more visible. On February 24th, 2011, Star mentioned how much fun Ye was. These were the lyrics to his god-awful musical debut after he had discussed something about Kanye's nutsack a year before. Back then, everyone dismissed it as nothing more than TikTok lies and the pursuit of online influence. Now, however, people are looking at Jeffree differently because of his confession, thinking that perhaps the reports were not true after all. And you know what? It just so happened that shortly after Ye's brief admission appeared online, Jeffree posted something dubious. He acknowledged that the rumors were accurate, but Jeff refrained from naming anyone. However, the timing and tone are screaming, baby, I am petty enough to use the receipts that I have, because it is not possible that you would suddenly come out after being so silent for years. And in industry parlance, that is known as a soft confirmation.
What is it about that he wants the world to know, look at my woman? We can see.
He wants other men to want his woman. That's what he's into. He likes that. He likes that men are like drooling over his woman.
Additionally, we must not overlook Miss Amber Rose. She has been attempting to alert us. Do you recall when she mentioned that Kanye had a slight fondness for anything up his back door? Allegedly, she was disparaged and accused of being resentful, yet now people were seeing her tweet as if it were sacred. What makes you guys believe that he crossed the line during a brief pegging session with his ex? If you all acknowledged having oral smile with his cousin, you see, this is the result of dismissing women's intuition. Years later, it reappears and confronts you with the reality. We now know that Amber may have been stating the facts when she made her statement. You now realize that without Azealia Banks breaking over the wall like the gossip Kool-Aid man, a Kanye expose would not be authentic. Sis has also been waiting on the sidelines with tea hotter than brimstone, screenshots, and clairvoyant visions. She said Kanye and Virgil Abloh were lovers, and I know you have not forgotten, and that Elon Musk was the one you gave your head to. Yes, Alan, Tesla Alan. Alan, a former Twitter user, the Neuralink brain chip Musk. Look, Azealia has not always been the most trustworthy storyteller. She occasionally appears in the universe, but she is the one with the inside scoop on Hollywood secrets, darling. The fact that she even said this aloud is noteworthy because she has always been in strange, tiny groups of celebrities. Oh, and in those MAGA days, Alan had Kanye sleeping on his couch, acting completely enamored with him. The math is multiplying, not matching. This is not the first time that Kanye's sexual orientation has been questioned, assuming we keep it a bug. People have been making fun of his songs, his infatuation with fashion, and the enthusiasm he exuded around some male industry executives. Recall that he stated at random in a 2015 interview that he believed he might be bisexual if he so desired. He blamed it on artistic expression, yet artists are always criticizing themselves. Like blinking lights in Vegas, the signs were there. People referred to it as eccentric genius, even when Ye began dressing more flamboyantly or complimenting masculine attractiveness in interviews. But now that the new information is coming to light, you all want to believe it. Furthermore, a lot of the psychological turmoil we have been witnessing unfold in real time makes sense if Ye has truly been having issues with his sexuality the entire time. Let us dig deeper since mindset is more important than clutter. Kanye grew up in a predominantly Black and religious household. If you add fame, power, trauma, and undiagnosed mental health to the mix, you will have a Molotov cocktail of identity crisis. You know the type. Boys do not weep, pray the gay away. And what happens in this house remains in this house. And now that he is out here admitting to previous interactions with his cousin, it feels more like a breakdown than a boast. Was it a coping mechanism or a method for him to let go of his shame? Is this a performance or a call for assistance? Let that individual live his life as he sees fit. We are not here to pass judgment. When you use religion as a weapon, talk about the gay agenda, and secretly struggle with your own truth. It was strange indeed. We have already mentioned Jeffree, but let us not pretend. This is where things really started to go ugly, as if he had been waiting to say, "I told you all this whole time." Jeffree was not wasting time leaning into the mayhem after Kanye's confession was broadcast. That tea initially appeared in 2021 when Kim was out here sobbing in skimps as TikTok girlies were yelling about Kanye's infidelity with Jeffree. Everyone laughed it off at the time, even Jeffree, who was acting sly and giving half confirmations while grinning like the cat that ate the canary. However, given that Kanye has come clean about the similar situations in the past, this story does not seem as ridiculous. It is confirming what you all believed we were playing. The fact that Jeffree Star, problematic or not, adores a good low-key moment only adds to the situation. Jeffree has never denied it with his chest, which makes sense if he and he did link up even once. He was always aware that he had that small bullet in the chamber that said, "I know what you did." We all owe Amber an apology for cutting off her finger during the testimony, if we are being sincere. She claimed at the time that Kanye liked it when she went behind his back. Kanye even attempted to spin it with the remark about taking 30 showers, as like he was the victim, but everyone just clowned her. Amber may have simply been speaking the truth all along before the world was prepared to hear it. That brief encounter with Amber was not so random. Rather, it was a breadcrumb if you had been genuinely investigating his sexuality for years. And let us face it, Amber was out there rescuing people long before you guys recognized her. Sis has been claiming that he was strange and that he had demons, and now it is beginning to make sense why she dipped at that time. Because darling, there was probably a lot going on behind those doors. Let us now discuss Kim, because if Kanye was truly struggling with his sexuality during their marriage, we must ask, was Kim merely a beard? Did she know about it? Or had she really been caught off guard? Some people insist that Kim had to be aware, while others claim that she was merely attempting to mend him in the way that many women believe they can. In any case, although Kanye was purportedly attempting to taste the rainbow behind closed doors, Sis was performed on a public stage. The worst part is that you were supposedly concealing intimate information that even his closest friends and family did not want to know, openly sparring with Pete and wearing MAGA hats while she was out here battling to keep her family together. In other words, everyone in this scenario caused strays. However, let us take a moment to put aside the jokes and attempt to be genuine. Is Kanye at last finding calm, or is this just another period of inner turmoil and a man who has been pleading for assistance since Heartbreak and the 808s? No one is unaware that Kanye has spent more than 10 years in self-discovery. Every stage feels like him pleading to be understood while simultaneously pushing everyone away, from Jesus walks to MAGA caps, from fashion icons to mental health spirals. Is it healing for him to talk about his LGBT experiences now, or is it just another spiral masquerading as a revelation? Since he is not coming out with clarity, let us face it, his confessions, which do not always imply freedom, are being dropped like shock value grenades. Confusion is sometimes the result, particularly if you were never at peace with yourself in the first place. Because we now have a right-winger who supposedly offered his cousin his head, may have been flirtatious with Jeffree Star, may have been pegged by Amber, and may have had an intimate relationship with Elon Musk. What a happy youngster. The layers, paradoxes, trail of women, public outbursts, and Christian genius billionaire sound bites, all while purportedly leading a double life that no one was prepared to witness, are what gag does, not the gay rumors. Here's the genuine tea, though. Kanye West is more than just a famous person. He serves as a mirror for repression, performative faith, fame, masculinity, and what happens when your secrets are revealed more quickly than they can be healed. However, what are your thoughts? Do you think Kanye is at last living his truth? Or is this really more mayhem masquerading as admission? What does it say about fame, power, and the strange circles these billionaires actually inhabit if the Jeffree Jeffree Star and Elon Musk's stories are accurate. Finally, how should Kim feel about the possibility that she was married to a man who never really considered her the end goal? Please share your ideas below.